It's Way Up with Angela Yee. I'm Angela Yee, and today we are honored to have Anthony White with us, the artistic director for the Detroit Youth Concert Choir and Performing Arts Company.
Yes.
Yes.
Hey, Angela, how you doing?
Oh, I'm great. How are you?
Thanks for having me. I'm fine. I've been wanting to meet you for a long time, so yeah, I'm glad I'm here.
Listen, and you're here because you guys have a Disney Plus docuseries called Choir.
Yes,
Before we start, though, I do want to give my condolences.
Oh, yeah,
I see you have your Lions.
Yes, the Lions, yeah. But, you know, we wanted to hit that Super Bowl real tough, and maybe we could have got like a little, spot somewhere. Right. I know Usher has.
Oh, y'all would have been, yeah.
I know, but we're still DYC. So
let me ask you, what was it like in the city that night?
Wow, pandemonium. The city really needed that. Because for a long time, the Lions have been struggling, and we were a part of that because we did the halftime show a couple of weeks ago at their first playoff game.
The Detroit Youth Concert Choir.
Yep, DYC. And the city was just crazy. I really love that the way people receive the Lions again. Yeah. Just the way they receive us too. Detroit is a real, all about it. Detroit is a real strong city. We love hard. So that's pretty much what happened with that.
The work that you do is so important. And I think when people watch this docuseries, and it's out now. Yeah, it's out now on Disney Plus. All 6 episodes. You can watch. And you get so invested in the story. And I think it's so interesting. Let's talk about the Detroit Youth Concert Choir, because you guys definitely hit the spotlight when you were on America's Got Talent.
Yes.
That was a nationwide, worldwide.
Yeah, worldwide.
People recognizing. I mean, that was an emotional, when you guys, how many people from the choir were on America's Got Talent?
So we took 52 young people to L.A., and if it wasn't for Terry Crews hitting that golden buzzer, we wouldn't be in the spot that we're in. And shout out to Simon and the rest of that panel, Howie. Gabrielle Union was actually on that panel, and Terry. I mean, they were like heaven sent for us. Terry
Crews was like, every single one of them represents me and his story. And I think people felt so connected when they saw that, because if you never heard of the Detroit Youth Concert Choir, DYC, right then, it was like amazing. Even seeing Simon put his fist in the air.
Wow, he was like, that's Simon, all right.
Yeah.
He loved us. Simon was actually brought to tears our last visit on AGT All-Stars. We did Thunder, right, by Imagine Dragons, and he was just like, I'm actually emotional. And when he said that, everybody was like, wow, they brought Simon to tears. So that's the power that these young people have.
And let's discuss that, because the reason that you do what you do, right, with choir, and seeing some of these young kids even auditioning or trying to move up, because there's 3 different levels, if I'm correct.
Yeah, we have Limelight, Center Stage, and Prime Time.
Everybody want to be Prime Time.
Everybody want to be Prime Time.
But everybody can't be Prime Time.
Everybody can't be Prime Time.
Yes, but even seeing the life skills that you get, because you said this in the docuseries, this is not about you singing for the rest of your life and leaving here and becoming a singer. But these are also things that you can apply to everyday life. So what are some things that the young children who are part of DYC can learn for everyday life?
Well, they can learn, of course, we do youth development, so they can learn life skills. We travel a lot. We perform a lot. We also do have an educational component. We have the college readiness. We prepare our young people to go on to college. And we also have 2 music studios in our space.
Amazing.
So they can do their own creation, their own music creation. My music director is up in here too, Donnell. He, he records us, and we do all of our music there as well. And also we do a lot of community service.
Yes.
So these kids get like the whole well-rounded experience of the performing arts and life.
And I also think part of it is seeing that every day is not a great day, too.
Right.
Sometimes you have to tell them, you didn't bring it today.
Right.
And the kids can get emotional hearing things like that. But some people would say kids today are so coddled and soft, but they do need to know.
They do need love, though. They need to know from me that everything is going to be all right. Even though some of them have mother and father, you have some single parent homes up in there. You know, a lot of our kids never even met their father. So when they come to rehearsal, I'm the only father that they see. I'm the only brother that they see. And the docuseries, I just watched it. I did a binge watching thing, and it was like so emotional, reliving some of the things that I saw. It was great.
I know you started filming this too before COVID, right?
Or during
COVID, but that did delay things a little. But it also gave you a chance to really get more into some of the story.
Yeah, it did. Like even some of the stories of these young people that's in this in our choir. Like you have a Gwen Jackson who lost her father to gun violence. You also have a couple other kids that fell on some hard times, and DYC was there and actually helped bring them up in their spirits. So that's what we all about. And Detroit is so resilient. Yeah, like we bounce back. And
you can never count Detroit out.
You can't count the D out. You know what I'm saying? And it's just great to be in New York. But back to the kids, these young people are extraordinary. And through this docuseries, you're going to see what makes them extraordinary.
Now, this is also on the journey to going to perform at Carnegie Hall, which is something that you didn't know was going to happen, right?
No.
When you started filming.
Right. I just thought they wanted to see my life and stuff like that and what I do with the kids. But to add that Carnegie Hall piece to it was amazing. Yeah.
And what I love about it too is that some of these kids, when they first get started, they're not the best singers.
No,
right?
Not.
They don't have to be like a young Mariah Carey or anything like that to be in the choir. So what are some of the requirements? What do you look for to see potential in some of these young kids?
Well, I basically look for character. Like they have to have great character when they come in to audition. And also they have to be able to sing la 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 la. If you can do la 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 la.
I was trying to do it at home along
can you
with
do
it.
Do
no,
it.
I cannot.
Okay.
La 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 la.
There you go. You win. You in the choir.
I made it. I'm definitely Limelight.
I mean, all you have to do is, and you know that's great because Limelight is the beginning piece to the puzzle.
I'm fine with that.
and you know, just to see people grow from Limelight, right? They come from Limelight and they make it up to prime time. And I just think it's a wonderful system we have.
So why did you even start DYC? Let's talk about you and what made you decide this was something that you wanted to do. Because if I'm not mistaken, over 1,500 students have gone through
the program. And okay, so I was 20 years old, actually singing with the choir that is now Detroit Youth Choir. It was called Detroit Children's Concert Choir. And it was under the direction of Mr. Ivory, right? He said, hey, Anthony, I'm moving. I want you to take this choir to the next level, and it's yours. And I said, I don't know. I'm only 20 years old. What do I know about business? I took it over, and from there, I started with 7 young people because they all left after he left, except for 7 now. Took 7 and turned it into what is now known as the world's greatest youth choir that's out here, DYC.
How hard is it for you when you get so attached to these students, but it is a level of commitment? And you know what? It's not just commitment from the students, it's also from the families.
The parents is the biggest piece of the puzzle. I don't give a lot of shout out to them a lot, but I'm going to shout them out. Shout out to our DYC parents, staff, and we come together as a family. So it takes a village, literally, to get these kids on that stage. The parents are so supportive, even though they give me the side eye sometimes because I require so much of their time that they're like, oh my God, here we go. We got another rehearsal. We got this, we got that. But you have to rehearse, you have to practice to become better.
And you know, sometimes, because I know students who have played like in AAU and all of that, sometimes for the parents, if parents aren't as invested or don't have the time and the ability to be able to drive here, go here, you know.
It plays a part.
That does play a part, and that has to be difficult when you know kids really want to participate, but it might be some obstacles
for sure
in order to make that happen.
And a lot of young people, they come from like different good neighborhoods, some bad neighborhoods. Some of them have to deal with a parent that's not doing so well financially. So they come to DYC for like refuge, right? So they'll say, Mr. White, can you work with us? We want our daughter, we want our son, and we're able to work with them. Like it's a registration fee to be in DYC. And once they pay that, that's it for the year. So we don't do a every week type deal.
Right.
So
and it's not ridiculous. Yeah. It's like $150.
It's like $200.
Yeah, $200. Yeah.
Yeah, okay. $200 a year, and they're responsible for their uniforms as well. And that's nothing these days and age. As far as registration, being in the program. So I'll try to keep it really affordable for our parents.
How did you guys decide which students you wanted to focus on? Because there are so many extraordinary students that are there. So how did that happen?
Well, it was really the director, Rudy Valdez. He was like, hey, point me out like 5 kids that have some great stories. I gave him 5, but I think he went over that. Yeah. And he chose some great kids. I know Ryan Bowens is one of the young men. Kennedy Falk. Let me see. Gwen, Chi-Chi, Uchechi, and Kayla Roach. That's the main 5. But there's some other kids.
Like Azaria.
Huggins. I forgot about Azaria.
And she plays basketball, too, so that was a tough decision because this is a huge time commitment. Yeah. And so imagine being a student, you're like, okay, those are big decisions, though, like life decisions. Yeah. I have basketball here. I have DYC here. Yeah. And they both are requiring me, like, make a decision.
I know.
That's a hard decision.
And you know what? It was rough for Azaria.
Yes.
She's at Delaware State University right now.
Her.
And she is extraordinary. She been with me since she was 9 to 18. I mean, her commitment to DYC is extraordinary. And this story, this docuseries, chronicles everything of her struggles with the basketball. You know, I was supporting her with that as well. Yeah. But I was like, Zaria, you got to choose one. You can't put 100% in DYC while you playing basketball.
Right.
Or you can't put 100% in basketball while doing DYC.
And you also have school.
So, I mean, that was a little tough for her, but she came out of that. She really did, and she's successful right now, so I'm happy for her.
What are some of the other great success stories that you've had throughout your years? Just give us a couple.
We had a girl, Ayla Stackhouse. She wound up on Broadway, like in the Book of Mormon.
Nice, that's huge.
She went through DYC. I've had people become lawyers, doctors, teachers out of the Detroit Youth Choir, and you wouldn't know this just sitting up in rehearsal.
Right.
I'm just going through music and songs and different things, but they take what I instruct them to do and apply it to the art of teaching, the art of being a lawyer and a doctor. So they go on and they come back and say, I appreciate you, Mr. White. And I'm young, I'm like 44. And these young people, they have kids too. So they put their child in DYC. So it's kind of weird to see that. Like, your son is in the choir now. And I had you when you were 12. You know what I'm saying? So
it's just the amount of discipline and confidence that it takes to be able to get up in front of an audience, be prepared and on point. But also, that's not an easy thing to do, even just to get on that stage.
It's not. Yeah. It's very hard. To get on that Carnegie stage, though, that was scary, but it was joyful. You know, I would say it was joyful because we accomplished something that a lot of youth choirs haven't done yet. You know, being in New York,
right?
You know what I'm saying? And these kids were crying. See, the cameras didn't show that. They were actually like, it was like, this is our moment, you know. And then they were just, they was breathing and the tears were coming down, and it made me tear up. And when I walked off that stage, I was like, it was like something being lifted off my back. And just to have them do that was extraordinary.
What do you hope that people who watch this docuseries will get out of it?
I hope they get out of our docuseries hope, struggle, how to deal with the young people of today. you know, a lot of people don't really know how to deal with our youth. And what I do, I just tell them the truth. I know a lot of people don't like the truth, but I'll say, hey, you know, you need to work on that, or you're not sounding so good today.
Right.
Choir directors don't really do that because they're scared. Oh, they're going to go back to their mother, you know, father or whatever. But I just go ahead and say it. But the young people know that I'm doing it out of love.
Right.
So I want people to get love out of this docuseries. And not so much of, it's not all about the music, you know, all the time.
At all.
It's about love, yeah, you know.
And the camaraderie, too.
The camaraderie.
Think just to see the friendships
that
you get to see that develop.
Yeah.
And some people that are in there that are friends. And I can't remember her name, but she was like, listen, if my best friend.
Kayla and Chi-Chi.
She's like, if I move up and she doesn't, but even worse, if she move up and I don't.
I know.
But just to see how they also root for each other, because I think that's a great life lesson too, right?
Yes,
it's not only one of us can make it.
Right. And just to know that Detroit is being shown in a positive light. I mean, they made the city look beautiful.
Yeah.
Just like Detroit is. And even the place where we rehearse, they made that look spectacular.
If you ask me, Detroit has so many beautiful locations.
Wow, yes.
You know, and I know sometimes people will say, like, I remember I posted the building that I have in Midtown, and there was some people in the comments like, who wants to be in Detroit? And I was like, Detroit is such an amazing city. And if you don't go there and get to experience certain things, you know, the food, I think the architecture, the people.
Oh, yeah. And they love you, Angela. Detroit loves you, and you should just come and pop up at a rehearsal one day.
Yeah, I'm actually I'm back and forth. I'm there at least once a month.
Yeah.
And there's a lot of great incentives for people to
live in the city.
Yeah, to live in the city, but to also invest in Detroit.
Put your money in Detroit and see it grow. Because, I mean, who would have thought, you know, pouring into an organization like us, like DYC, would actually grow into a Disney
right, that's
product.
amazing.
That's something else. And I was telling Donnell over there, like, would you ever thought that we would have been on Disney coming from like America's Got Talent? Because this young man did the music for us for AGT.
Wow.
Along with their producers. So he was up in there working, and we was all working together, and that's how we got the golden buzzer and everything. So.
And you know what you don't know either? There's always more levels to unlock.
Yeah, it is.
So it's America's Got Talent. It's this Disney Plus series, docuseries Choir, that's out now.
Yes.
And there's Carnegie Hall. And then who knows what that next level is about to be.
Well, we're supposed to be going to Africa.
There you go. Never mind. We know. Okay.
And Africa, look, Nairobi, right? So they actually asked us to come and do a music festival in April. Yes. So we're looking for donations and stuff to help us get there. So I want these kids in Africa. So if I want them there, they're going to get there.
So how can people donate?
Well, they can go on our website, which is DetroitYouthChoir.org, and donate as much as you can to their Africa trip, because we need it. I know we have to do airline tickets and stuff like that.
That's not a game.
Yeah, it's not a game.
Good luck to you on that flight with everybody, too, because that's a long flight.
I think they said almost 20 hours.
Yeah, I went once. I went to South Africa. That's the longest flight I've ever been on.
Really?
Yeah.
Did you sleep?
I slept the entire time. I actually, to be honest, I took a sleeping pill.
Really?
And partway through, and the guy next to me wouldn't stop talking to me, so I gave him one.
That's how you do it.
It was over the counter. It was over the counter.
That's how you do it.
He kept talking. I said, "Sir, do you want one of these?" And he was like, "Oh, is it?" I was like, "It's from the drugstore right here." He took it and he was knocked out, sitting up.
Knock him out.
I was like, "Thank goodness."
Yeah, I mean, you don't want to talk to nobody on a 20-hour flight, not like that. But movies I will watch.
Yeah, yes.
Yeah.
And now, when it comes to your own inspirations, where do you draw inspiration from for the choir?
I'm glad you asked that. Actually, a choir that was here in New York, the Boys Choir of Harlem.
Oh, yes.
They were a big milestone inspiration for me, and the kids are tired of me talking about the Boys Choir. And when I saw them perform live back in Detroit, I just fell in love with them. I heard them on a few soundtracks, Malcolm X, Glory with Denzel.
Yep.
And also they were on Jungle Fever and a couple of other Spike Lee joints. You know what I'm saying? And when I found out about him, I fell in love.
Right.
And that is our true inspiration for the Detroit Youth Choir, because if you look at us, we have the logo, just like they had their logo.
Right.
We always in uniform, just like they were always in uniform. So I chose that choir to emulate because of their discipline and the culture that they brought to choir, because they were dancing, singing, and everything as well. So I wanted to continue that legacy of the Harlem Boys Choir, just to give them honor.
Yeah, because you had these kids running, working out. They have to do all because that's not an easy task to get up like this stage, because they're not just singing. They got routines.
DYC is the whole package. And I would say this to anybody out there that want to join our choir. It's like a sport. It's like basketball. It's like football. So we do jumping jacks. We do knee highs.
Yep, you gotta have your wind.
Oh,
you gotta
and you know, you gotta have that breath, right?
Yeah.
And even though I don't join in with that, I love watching them, you know, get their stamina up, because to dance and sing for real is really hard.
And you know, with the Detroit music scene popping the way that it is, I can see a lot of Detroit artists being like, we need to work with the Detroit Youth Choir and get them on the album.
That's what I can't wait. I know we're doing something with Skilla, baby.
Get at it. I love that.
Like
I know
Skilla?
the kids are so excited. I love Skilla, baby. He's
Skilla
actually
is
been
my
up
guy.
here, and he's been on Lip Service, and he works in the same studio I work in when I do my podcast. Yeah.
Skilla jumped on the remix to Poppin'. That's one of our songs.
Yes.
Yeah, and shout out to our producer.
I love that. Okay.
Yeah, so our producers, D Slate, right? He wrote, him and Buddy is his writing partner. They wrote all of our original music, and there is fantastic. Mama, We Made It just came out a week ago.
Yeah,
and that's a big. I want you to hear that one.
That's going to be so huge. And you also have songwriters, right? And
yes. Oh, our
students,
kids.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Our students are beautiful songwriters. Actually, a lot of our songs, a lot of our materials is a accumulation of their thoughts, you know, on paper, and also they write for themselves. So I have a lot of artists in our choir as well.
You need to start a label.
You know.
Okay.
That's not, we got DYC Productions.
Yeah, you need to be putting this music out. You like Motown over here, the new Motown. Okay.
The new Motown.
This is it.
That's what they call us. They call DYC. They say, you guys got it all. You got the factory. You got the.
You do, because you know a lot of people don't do artist development now, and this really is pretty much artist development.
Yeah.
These kids are learning a lot of different things that most artists are going viral and just signing to a label. But right now, this is the preparation, the hard work that comes with. It's a job to be an artist.
It is. And we are the front runners in Detroit to artist development. But you know, we still have Motown there.
Yeah.
But we are like, we do it in choir form. You know, so even though we don't really concentrate on individuals, we do it all together. So a Skilla baby or a Jay-Z or somebody will call us and say, hey, we need you on the track.
Yeah.
You know, so if any artists out there want to work with us, we're here.
We here. Okay.
We here.
We see a lot of the kids dancing to Sexy Red. So.
Oh. Yes. That Sexy Red. Yeah.
Well, listen, I want to thank you so much for taking the time out to come here, because once I saw this was coming out, I knew we had to have you up here to highlight these students and this beautiful story and the work that you've been doing. You need to get your flowers, because
thank you. I appreciate it.
It is a lot that you're doing for these youth. So, like, literally, you know, a couple of thousand kids and their families have been affected by you. And I know this is something that's going to continue on. So it's really, really dope.
Thank you. And to be here on Way Up is like a dream come true. So I want to thank you and give you your flowers as well.
Thank you. I cannot wait to see y'all in Detroit. We're stopping by.
Come on by.
All right, make sure y'all watch Choir 6-part docuseries. All 6 parts coming out. It's out right now on Disney Plus. So you can check it out and you're going to love it. You're going to get a little emotional. I promise you.
For sure.
All right. Thank you so much, Anthony White.